So I was told if I got 63 million, which is what I got the first time, you would win. You can't not win. And I got millions of more votes than that, and lost by a whisker.
Now we finally know why liars lie. Because when they tell the truth, all hell breaks loose. Welcome to Street Politics. My name is Reese Waters. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the page. Okay, you guys saw the intro. Trump finally admits he lost the 2020 election.
And I became president. Then the second time I got millions more votes than I got the first time. So I was told if I got 63 million, which is what I got the first time, you would win. You can't not win. And I got millions of more votes than that, and lost by a whisker.
And just in case you were wondering what a whisker is, that's like a whisker, like if planets had whiskers, you know, kind of like a nice little, like a ring, like it's like Saturn's ring, like that kind of whiskers. Well, I can tell you this, Trump, MAGA is not going to take this well.
So why did we do Stop the Steal? Why did anyone go to January 6th? Why is anyone sitting in jail? Why did anything bad happen to anybody? Why did everyone get censored? Why is everything bad that has happened to the people that are involved, why did that need to happen if you're just going to walk it all back and say, oh, I lost? Well, it would have been good to know that before 1,600 people got charged. It would have been good to know that before I had all my money frozen, put on a no-fly list, banned from everything, lost all banking and payment processing. Would have been good to know that before I, in 2017, dedicated my life to this as an 18-year-old in college. Just feels like a big ripoff. And don't get me wrong, I'm an adult. It's not whining. I'm not complaining about it. I'm saying you can't say those things for that reason. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't regret anything, and we all make our choices. And look, it didn't work out. It is what it is. So I'm not mad saying I want those years back. I want those decisions back. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that just goes to show what a tremendous betrayal it is. It's just such a callous indifference to the sacrifices that his supporters made on his behalf.
That was Nick Fuentes, by the way. He of racist and anti-Semitic fame. Cue the music!
I never thought the leopards would eat my face down.
I never thought. Now we finally know why liars lie. Because once you go down the road with that first lie, everything else has to be consistent with said lie. And you lie, and you lie, and you lie. And the more that you lie, the more punitive it becomes when you finally tell the truth. Anybody that's backslid in a relationship can tell you that. Now, what's wild about this particular lie, we've been telling y'all this whole time. Instead of listening to, I don't know, the dozens of cases, hundreds at this point, all across the country, instead of listening to the 40-odd senior executives in the Trump administration that won't endorse him this time around because they were so offended, instead of listening to, I don't know, the entire Republicans for Harris movement, you listen to a man who cheated on all three of his wives. Yeah, that's who you decided to listen to. Now, normally when you cheat on your wife, they never trust you again. Like, normally life is very difficult after you cheat on your wife. Where you going? I'm just going here to the mailbox. Leave the door open. But apparently in MAGA land, lying and cheating makes you more trustworthy. I can't imagine the logic. Well, see, I think the Democrats are doing dirt over there. I think they doing dirt. I don't know. I think they doing dirt. I know he doing dirt. Okay, so I know that he is filthy, and I trust the devil versus could be a devil over there. I know he a devil. I know he a devil because they say fool me once.
fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
Maybe that's what they mean when they say that conservative women are more beautiful. It wasn't a physical thing. It wasn't physical beauty. It was that they will trust literally anything that you say. And I don't mean me. They wouldn't trust anything I say. I mean like a conservative man who is white. They will trust anything a conservative white man says, which is what makes this so crazy. It's not even the first time that he's said this.
10 or 12 million votes more than that, more than anybody had ever got. We got the most votes of anybody, of any sitting president in history. And he beat us by a whisker.
And here he is back in 2023.
There's no way you could lose the election. And we got close to 75 million votes. And that's only what they agreed to. That's only what they say. It's much higher than that, but they agreed to it. So we got, based on that, we got 12 million more votes, right? And we lost by a whisker here and a whisker there.
This ain't even his first confession.
Mr. President, before we wrap up this, there is this report, House Democrats, documents that say that nearly $8 million in payments to your businesses from foreign governments, China included, Saudi Arabia, while you were in office. They say Article 1 of the Constitution says you can't accept money from foreign governments while president. Would you pledge to divest from your business in the second term as other presidents have done?
So
that's what they're reporting.
I own hotels all over the. I don't get free money. Somebody rents a hotel room, et cetera, et cetera. Much money I gave back. In fact, I didn't have to do it. George Washington was a very rich man. People don't know that. In his essentially White House, which wasn't built, but they had an office, he had a business desk and he had a country desk right next to each other. You're allowed to do that. I didn't do it. I put everything in trust. And if I have a hotel and somebody comes in from China, that's a small amount of money. It sounds like a lot of money. That's a small. But I was doing services for that. People were staying in these massive hotels, these beautiful hotels, because I have the best hotels. I have the best clubs. I have the best clubs. I have great stuff. And they stay there and they pay. I don't get $8 million for doing nothing.
So you think I just took the $8 million just for nothing? I didn't take $8 million for doing nothing. I had to get up and go get the $8 million. They didn't just put the $8 million in my lap. I had to physically take my hands and go get the $8 million. You know what I mean? I earned that.
Everybody wanted that issue brought back to the states, the legal scholars, Democrats, Republicans, everybody. And we did that. And, it's really become almost, I think, look, I'm not going to say it's an issue that leans toward us, but people are happy.
No, it was not his first confession. And it wasn't his last.
Whoever heard you get indicted for interfering with a presidential election where you have every right to do it? You get indicted and your poll numbers go up. When people get indicted, your poll numbers go down.
I'm sorry. Come again?
Whoever heard you get indicted for interfering with a presidential election?
Did he just admit to interfere? He just left it all out there? Bro, you worse than First 48.
It's so crazy that my poll numbers go up. Whoever heard you get indicted for interfering with a presidential election where you have every right to do it? You get indicted and your poll numbers go up.
We need to get this guy in here today.
Hey, Nick Fuentes, you want to weigh in here?
It's just because it's bullshit. They sold out. They sold out everything that MAGA represented at one point, and everything that it was is no longer. It's just really sad. And the 2020 comment, it's like, wow, that's how pathetic it's gotten. He's admitting, he says, oh, I lost by a whisker. So what was the point? Like, what's the point of any of it? You lost in 2020? Seriously? I mean, what are we even doing anymore? Then you're a loser. Then you're a loser. You just lost. Then you lost to Joe Biden. You deserve to be charged. If he admits that he lost, then that actually vindicates the DOJ charge against him. Because the charge is that he knew he lost, but he lied to defraud the people. That's the DOJ's charge.
This ain't good. Nah, this ain't gonna be good. MAGA is as helpless as Alina Habba in or out of court.
I completely am disgusted.
While Trump incriminates himself.
You attack her. I said, who is she? And they said, she writes for People magazine. I said, I don't know anything about the lady. If I had a story long ago, years before, about People, but it was a very nice story. So I don't know. It has to be made up because I don't know what you're talking about. It turned out that the same lady that wrote this beautiful story years later said I attacked her. Now, think of this. Oh, and she said the butler knew everything. The old expression, the butler did it.
Huh? Trump gets away with everything? Well, this judge is a little bit different.
The first hearing since the Supreme Court narrowed aspects of Jack Smith's prosecution of Donald Trump occurred today, with Trump pleading not guilty to what was that revised indictment. And the judge there says she is not going to be affected by an election timeline. The court is not concerned with that, quote, electoral schedule. It's not going to be considered. And she ordered both sides to file new briefs since the Supreme Court immunity ruling, at which point she will, quote, determine whether further proceedings are necessary. The judge also rebuked Trump's attorney for further delay tactics, saying what you're trying to effect, the presentation of the evidence in this case, so as not to impinge on an election. The DOJ has also said that some new evidence could come to light because, quote, the briefs might contain things that are both in and outside the indictment. These are the new briefs, including transcripts from the grand juries or the interviews.
What I find so fascinating about this, MAGA will probably largely ignore this because they have poor comprehension skills.
Barack Obama had a big part of 9/11.
Which part?
Not being around, always on vacation, never in the office.
Why do you think Barack Obama wasn't in the Oval Office on 9/11?
That I don't know. We'd like to get to the bottom of that.
We don't even know if he's a citizen.
Yeah, if you don't look at the birth certificate, there's almost no evidence there.
Exactly.
Did you read the transcript?
I don't have to. Everyone else has. I can read it if I need to, but
right, yeah. But it's important that everybody reads the transcript.
It is very important. Pay attention and think for yourself.
Yes, you have. But to be clear, you have not read the transcript.
I haven't. No.
Right.
No.
But it is just important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be a sheep. Think for yourself.
But again, just to be very clear, you have not read it.
I have not read it.
You just trusted somebody else
Correct.
who read it.
Yeah.
What were you saying about don't be a sheep?
Don't be a sheep. Think for yourself. Do your own research.
Do your own research.
Yeah.
Right. So there's nothing Barack Obama could do to prove that he was born here?
If there was maybe witnesses that were attendants at his birth.
Like his mother? Do you listen to his mother?
No. She has motivation to lie.
So you don't trust Donald Trump's birth certificate either?
Yeah, because he's been here forever.
Well, how do you know? But what's your proof?
Well, his parents and...
But they're biased. I'm talking about like people who could be in the room.
Why would they be biased?
Well, like, I'm just using your logic against you.
Nick Fuentes, one of the most hateful of the bunch, is the one to call him out. Kind of like Ann Coulter, one of the only other few to call out Trump.
Yeah, well, he's always known how to be a celebrity, right? Like that reminded me of the reality TV show aspect of Trump, right? He knew.
I think you're giving him more credit. I don't even think it's knowing how to be. I think he's a narcissistic. I didn't read. The one thing I didn't know when I wrote In Trump We Trust is how profoundly stupid he is.
Cue the music. I never thought the leopards would eat my face.
I made very clear in the book the only thing he could do, we will forgive him for anything. And I defended him the day after the Access Hollywood, pussy grabbing tape came out. I was giving a speech before like 5,000 people in California up in farmland. And I was pedal to the metal defending him. And I said, we'll forgive him for anything, but unless you betray us on immigration. Yeah. Oh, and guess what he did?
Oh, I never thought the leopards would eat my face. But they are!
Who just happens to be a 13 out of 10 on the hateful Richter scale. I need to try and understand this. Is it kind of like your hate gets so high that it curls around back? It's not a line. It's like a circle. It's like a circle. It's almost like the circle of life. The circle of life. Your hate comes back over to love. It's the circle of hate. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and especially those of you that have liked and subscribed to the page. Did y'all know I had a website? I know, it's so kind of old-fashioned these days. Yes, I have a website, reesewaters.com. There you'll find my most recent work, but also my past work if you want to know a little bit more about me. You'll also find a portal where you could sign up for my newsletter. You could also sign up by sending me an email at reese@reesewaters.com. You could also send me any suggestions for ideas, something I need to take a look at, or you just want to say hello. And by the way, if you go to the website now, you'll find a little something special. That's right, we got merch. There's mugs there, there's t-shirts there, there's hats there, repping street politics, troubled waters, and of course, Racists of the Week. Where would we be without Racists of the Week? I don't know that I would have any content.